Morning, Mr. Bandy. My name's Josh and I'll be conducting a health check on your XC90 today. To begin with, round at the near side front of the vehicle, this tyre is on 4.5mm at the lowest point. There's no cuts or gouges in the tyre itself and it does appear to be in good condition. Coming round onto the brakes, the brake pads on the front are on 6mm. There's plenty of there's plenty of meat left on the pads and the discs are in relatively good condition. When across the axles to the near side rear, when across and round into the suspension components and mounts, they're all intact. They're all intact and operating as they should be. There's no excessive movement in any of the bushers or the mounts. The spring's intact and the shock absorber's not leaking. Coming across, engine and gearbox are both nice and dry. And coming over to the offside front suspension components and mounts, again everything's intact and operating as you'd expect it. Round onto the offside front tyre now. The offside front tyre is on 4.6mm. There's no cuts or gouges in the tyre itself, and it does appear to be in good condition. Coming round onto the brakes, the brake pads on the offside front are on 6mm. The discs are again in good condition. And coming down the centre of the vehicle now, the exhaust is nice and secure, and there's no leaks down towards the rear axle. Just above your exhaust, you've got your prop shaft, and the bearings are intact and are not leaking any grease. Down towards the rear differential, which is nice and dry, and then your rear suspension components and mounts are all intact again and operating as they should be, and this applies to both sides on the rear. Near side rear tyre. The near side rear tyre is on 5.5mm. There's no cuts or gouges in the tyre itself. And coming around onto the brakes, the brake pads on the rear. Now the brake pad on this side, it is down to around 2mm on the near side rear. However, if we do come over and have a look around onto the offside is worn to about 2mm on the outer pad. However, on the inner pad, I don't know if you can hear or see just in that gap, but you are down to the metal on the pads. You've taken the face off the disc. It will require new discs and pads, but with the wear on the pads themselves, you're more than likely going to be ready anyway. Coming on to the tyre on the offside rear is on 5.8mm at the lowest point, and again there's no cuts or gouges in the tyre itself. That concludes the vehicle health check, and just to let you know, there's nothing ready to report other than the rear discs and pads need replacing as they have reached their maximum wear limit and are now on metal to metal. I'll pass this information on to the service advisor and he'll be in touch. Thank you very much and have a nice day.